that so many women can't help but be hypocritical. This is a French pole vaulter who missed out on an Olympic medal because even though he cleared the bar, he barely knocked it off with his and that moment went viral for a couple of reasons. First, because people found it funny, but second, because a lot of women had some interesting things to say about it. French diver, French swimmer, French vaulter, I see what's going on here. Can't wait for my trip to Paris in September. He lost his dream, but he's every girl's dream. I might need to date a French guy. He's still a winner in my eyes. His manhood deserves a medal. Aren't these the same women who, if the roles were reversed and a girl's tits hit the bar, would be calling the male commenters predatory, misogynistic, dehumanizing? This is where so many women lose the thread. This can't be a rules for thee but not for me situation. You don't get to hold people to a different standard than you hold yourself. You want to have a laugh or say what everyone's thinking? Fine. Just don't get your panties in a bunch when men do it.
The double standards from women is not the only problem, it's also the media as well. They always pander to women's emotions and ignore men's emotions. They can't expect men to be better when they're constantly scrutinising men and laughing at them. Men are not just attacked for doing the wrong thing, they're also attacked for doing the right things as well.
It's true. That is true.
Feminism has definitely ruined all of that. Where it comes to men being men step up. I don't know if you guys saw that article that there was some girl that was drowning and the guy saved her life, and then he was like, she was gonna sue him for touching her. Oh, he touched me without my consent. Bitch, you were under the water, you were dying. Like, he literally saved your life. And she's like, well, for a brief moment, I was grateful that I was alive. This is why men don't step up, because when they do the right thing, they get crucified. If you want better men, be better women, because it starts with you. How you act, how you carry yourself, how you talk to them. Treat a man like a king, he will treat you like a queen.
Imagine risking your life to save somebody, only to be attacked for it. And women wonder why we don't do anything when they're struggling to lift a heavy weight off themselves in the gym. They accuse men for not helping, and when we do help, they attack us for it. Therefore, men have learned to not help any longer. Here's an example.
I just had such a scary incident happen to me on one of the trams in Melbourne, and I'm still so shaken up right now. But basically, I was on the tram and this man got on and he was sitting probably about 3 meters away from me. And I was very wary about him, but I also don't want to judge a book by its cover, and I try not to discriminate. So I just sat where I was and I was keeping my eye on him. But you could just tell he was so high on something. He was just speaking to himself. And then he pulled out a full bottle of red wine and started sipping that from the bottle, and then spitting it out on the floor and making all these noises. I was keeping my eye on the situation. I also looked around and I could see there was another woman sitting behind me, and she was also feeling very uncomfortable. But then he made his way towards me and he tried to grab my phone, but I was holding on to it. So I just looked at him and I didn't say anything because I was quite scared. And then he sat down in front of me. So this is when I felt very uncomfortable, and I got up and I tried to move, but he put his leg out to block me. But I stepped over him and I walked all the way to the back of the tram. And 2 other ladies that were around me also followed me towards the back of the tram. But then he started following us, and this is when I started recording, because I was like, you just never know what could happen, so just in case. And there were other people on the tram as well, which made it worse. There were all these men sitting there that did nothing, which is so frustrating as well. Especially seeing a young woman like me and another young woman who feels so uncomfortable and we've got nowhere to go. Unfortunately, the tram doors weren't opening because it wasn't at a stop. I was just waiting for the next stop so I could just get out and leave the man. And then he went to the other lady and he started speaking very aggressively and he was swearing. And this is when I started shaking. And I was trying to hold this together. I didn't want to draw attention to myself. So then I tried to go down the pathway and he wouldn't let me. So I pushed past and I just went. But then he started following me again. And I was like, I need to get away from him. Then I got off the tram. It was so disgusting. He spat on me. And I felt so disgusted. And luckily the tram door was closed and he went off. 3 other people who had also felt uncomfortable got off. The one guy gave me napkins to try and wipe down myself. And the other lady offered me wet wipes, and they were just standing by me. But it was just such a horrible experience because you're so helpless and you have no idea what this person might do, and the people around you are scared or not helping at all. I don't understand why people don't try and help people if they can.
Fat chance of that.